echoes through every home, every heart, from the street.
Good afternoon. Here is iPower 102.7 FM Midday News. I am Florence E. Barima. First, the headlines. Ondo residents cry as flood takes over streets and homes. Osun parties bicker over SSG arrest. On the foreign scene, Kenya probes mysterious death of 15 elephants. In sports, India means grandson chases Commonwealth Game boxing medal. Details of these and more in a moment. Please stay tuned. Glad to have you back. Now the news in detail, starting from the home front. Ondo State Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa has approved a 1.1 billion naira special intervention fund for Adekunle Ajashin University Akongba Akoko to offset outstanding salary arrears. The state government said the intervention is aimed at resolving the industrial dispute at the university. The governor has directed the Ministry of Finance and the university management to ensure that prompt release and disbursement of the funds. Governor Ayedatiwa also appealed to the university union to suspend the strike and return to work in the interest of students and the development of the institution. It said the move reflects his administration's commitment to education and workers' welfare. Many communities across Ondo State are beginning to cry out for help as flooding takes over their streets and homes. iPower FM reporter Alaba Adeyemi brings the report from various locations across the state.
From Ondo Town in Ondo West Local Government to Ile-Oluji in Ile-Oluji Okegbo Local Government, Okitiupa, Igbokoda, and virtually all communities in Ondo South Central District, residents have continued to troop out to cry for government intervention as flood has taken over the streets and destroyed properties in people's houses. One of the first persons to cry out for help is the famous Birikpo singer, Chief Emaye, who begged the government to help him as all the properties he labored for as a young man have been destroyed by the flood.
Àgbàmí o, mo mú owó òbí ṣeré yìí o, òun ẹ̀bẹ̀ tójú mi bàjẹ́ yìí ni o, ìjọba àgbàmí o, àjọ ògùn bẹ̀yìn o, bẹ́ẹ̀ mo fẹ́ bá yín o.
Residents of other places across Ondo State also cried out for help as they watch their houses being gradually submerged under the raging flood.
A dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ wọn àwọn tó ṣe é ṣùgbọ́n síbẹ̀síbẹ̀ ó wá kù sí ọwọ́ àwọn ibìkan nípa àìlà gọ́tà nípa àìsí ọ̀nà yẹn délẹ̀ nípa ibi tí àwọn ọ̀nà ti wà tẹ́lẹ̀ ní ọmọ wa for example tó yẹ kí wọ́n ti ṣe gọ́tà ẹ̀kanlẹ̀ àbí ẹ̀kan ṣọ̀nà yẹn dáadáa nípa àìsí dáadáa tó wá darí gbogbo omi àdúgbò omi ògbéjé omi fáwà omi ọmọ wa àti gbogbo surroundings omi ẹ̀ gbogbo omi àdúgbò yẹn ọ̀dọ̀ wa báyìí ló ń dà sí tẹ́ bá wo nísìn ilé ibi tá a wà yìí wọ́n ti kúrò nílé wọn ò rí kankan mú obìnrin yẹn lánàá báyìí ẹja tó lọ rà sílé ó tó 200,000 báyìí gbogbo ẹja yẹn àárín gbogbo ẹrù òṣèlú jáde nílé ilé kejì ilé tèmi gan-an ònìyẹn ń bẹ̀ yẹn gbogbo ẹ̀ lómi gbà ibi tá a wà yìí omi gbà gbogbo ẹ̀.
pé láti ìgbà tá a ti wá sínú ilé yìí irú ẹ̀ kò ṣẹlẹ̀ rí rárá ṣùgbọ́n nígbà tí ní láti yàtọ̀ sọ pé wọ́n kọ́ ibi omi tá máa kọ́kọ́ kàkà tó dé ọ̀wẹ̀ yẹn ibi tó kó dé yẹn ni omi yẹn ti ń gba ti bí lọ ibẹ̀ ló kọ̀ sí wàhálà yìí ojú ọ̀wẹ̀ gan pàápàá dẹ̀ ti dí ó ti dí kó jọ kó gbà wá o tinúlé báyìí àti jáde síta ẹ wo gbogbo inú ilé gbogbo ẹ̀ kò máa rí bí sùn
ẹ wo ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ ilẹ̀ olújí òkègbó ẹ wò ó àárín omi ni àwọn ilé yẹn wà báyìí wọ́n ẹjọ́ gbogbo ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ ilẹ̀ olújí òkègbó.
In Ondo Town, Itanla, Lipakala, Tipper Garage, and several other places within the metropolis were flooded again, and this is a repeat of what took place in 2024. This flooding did not happen suddenly, as Nigeria Meteorological Agency (NIMET) had issued several warnings about impending flood in 19 states across Nigeria, which includes Ondo. In January and February, Ondo State received a total sum of 365.97 million naira as ecological funds to prepare for this kind of challenges, but little or nothing was done. The Ondo State government, in its 2026 budget document, expects to receive 635.9 million naira as ecological fund. However, in reaction to the flooding, the Ondo State government has commenced the removal of illegal structures blocking the drainage path across the state, an action that many believed should have been taken earlier. While speaking on the incident, the special advisor to the governor on erosion control and the permanent secretary, Ondo State Ministry of Physical Planning, have promised to continue to take actions that will assuage the pains of those affected by the flooding.
Happening in Ondo State several years. Immediately, I get appointed with Mr. Governor on erosion control in Ondo State, and I do my land map to see where we are going to address in Ondo State. And this is Onyemekun Road, and we need to address this place properly. And I promise the good people of Ondo State that we are going to put concrete channelization, which we call embankments. We are going to dig this place 4 meter and 1 meter depth. By the special grace of God, we are going to bring to Danjuma, and all those structure on our waterway, we are going to demolish it for 1 week and 3 days. And we are going to address Ondo Road too. And after Ondo Road, we are going to Ondo Town. Present now, I have traveled to Ondo Town this morning concerning flooding. And earlier this year, I addressed Ondo Town. And the people of Ondo Town came outside that we should stop the assignments concerning the structure on the waterway. And with this team now, on bad development, we are good to go in Ondo State. And we want to give Ondo State EDG the best. And we want to say no to flood in our state.
We are doing a normal job. We are looking at photos that are improved on stream and river setback. And we are removing them. Yes, particularly on this side, it's illegal construction, actually blocking the free flow of this river, particularly, and it's causing a lot of flooding. And in the last 2-3 weeks, it's not been a very easy thing for road users. And you can see, particularly in this area, people have deliberately encroached on the setback, they've built on them, and it's giving us a lot of work. But then, we're up to removing them, and the next 2 or 3 days, there will be enough sun.
Alaba Adeyemi reporting for IPA FM.
Away from that, the Ocean State Police Command has arrested a suspected gang leader and 6 others during an operation in Oshobo. Officers also recovered 4.8 million naira, a laptop, a photocopier, a printer, 2 voters' cards, and a voter's register. Police said the prime suspect, identified as Abiodun Arowomole, alias Ashipa, was arrested at a property linked to the Osun State Secretary to the state government. The command said the suspect had been on the watch list over alleged murder and other offences. The command said the recovered items have raised suspicion on possible vote buying and other electoral offences. It added that investigations are continuing and assured residents that anyone found culpable will be prosecuted in accordance with the law. Following the arrest of the Osun State SSG, the ruling Accord Party in Osun State and the main opposition, the All Progressive Congress APC, have continued to engage in war of words. A stalwart of the APC in Osun State, Kehinde Ayantunji, while speaking with newsmen, described the Osun Accord Party as a haven of criminals.
Let me tell you this, what the antics of Osun is that Osun State government that they always harbor criminal. Let me clarify this.
Sorry, that's a weighty allegation. You can't just, that is very weighty. You can't, when you say a government harbors criminals, that you really must have evidence beyond doubt.
Let me make a confirmation. He just told you that they arrested the Secretary of State Government, Honorable Teslim Igbalaye. The police has released a statement now, and they confirmed that one of the wanted criminal was arrested at the residence of SSG. Is that not a confirmation of harboring a criminal? We have read these several allegations in the past that the criminal was staying in government house. We have the video, but that's not the issue here now. We have moved beyond that. What we are saying is that, look, our court party, they are used to institutional compromise. And the moment they are failing in that institutional compromise, they always raise allegations. Such institutional compromise include compromising police authority, compromising INEC as electoral empire, and all other stakeholders that are involved in the election. But they are saying that they are failing in this regard.
In a swift response, a member of Governor Ademola Adeleke's campaign team described the situation as unfortunate.
Has chosen to take sides, where the police are now the ones leading hooligans around there to take over garages to go and do whatever kind of crime they are doing. Just today, we have been told that the secretary to the state government has equally been picked up. We have been arrested for whatever reasons that we cannot establish for now. Where the stakeholders' engagement with the INEC chairman, together with the secretary to the state government, when we heard that the police, they have gone to his residence to bombard his residence, and the information getting to us is that he has been picked up for whatever reasons. Our members are being picked up from every part of the state just because they believe that the party is popular. Our candidate has the acceptance of the people of the state, and they are trying to intimidate us. Unfortunately, they are doing this with connivance with the police.
Away from that, now to federal matters. The Federal High Court in Ikoyi, Lagos, has sentenced Sahib Danjuma to 12-month imprisonment for conducting foreign exchange transactions outside the official market. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, prosecuted Danjuma on a one-count charge of illegal foreign exchange trading. He pleaded guilty to the offense. Justice T.A. Aluko convicted the defendant and sentenced him to 1 year imprisonment with an option of a 100,000 naira fine. This media news is coming to you from iPower 102.7 FM in Murele Owo. Still to come on the foreign scene, Kenya probes a mysterious death of 15 elephants. In sports, India means her grandson chases Commonwealth Games boxing medal.
Whether you're tuning in for breaking news, in-depth analysis, or community updates, Hyper 102.7 FM remains your most trusted source. Because when it comes to news, the truth matters. Hyper FM 102.7.
Welcome back. To be a part of our program, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok at iPower1027 FM. We are also on Radio Garden. Now to the foreign scene. Kenya authorities have launched an urgent investigation into the mysterious death of 15 elephants near Amboseli National Park in the south of the country. The Kenya Wildlife Service said experts have collected tissue samples from the carcasses for laboratory analysis to determine whether the animal died from disease, poisoning, or another cause. Officials said that there is currently no evidence pointing to a single cause of death. They added that it is the first time in decades that such a large number of elephants' deaths has been recorded in the Amboseli ecosystem, where poaching has been significantly reduced. The wife of a British business analyst detained in Saudi Arabia has appealed for his release, saying his imprisonment has left their 4 children without their father for almost 2 years. Ahmed Al-Dosh from Manchester has been held in Saudi Arabia since August 2024 after his arrest at the Riyadh airport. Amnesty International says he was convicted in an unfair trial over social media posts and that the charge violates his right to freedom of expression. His wife, Amher Noel, said these children continue to ask about their father, whom she tells them is away working rather than in prison. Amnesty is campaigning for his immediate release. In the world of sport, the grandson of former Uganda military ruler Idi Amin is aiming to make history at the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow. 25-year-old super heavyweight boxer Aziz Abdul is through to the quarterfinals where a win over England Damaka Temus would guarantee him at least a bronze medal. If successful, he would become the Uganda's first Commonwealth Games boxing medalist since 1990. Idi Amin ruled the Uganda from 1971 to 1979 after seizing power in a coup. His regime was accused of widespread human rights abuses, with hundreds of thousands of people believed to have been killed during his time in office. To end the IPA 102.7 FM midday news, let us take another look at the main points. We told you in the course of the bulletin that many communities across Ondo State are beginning to cry out for help as flooding takes over their streets and homes. We equally informed you that following the arrest of the Osun State SSG, the ruling Accord Party in Osun State and the main opposition, the All Progressive Congress APC, have continued to engage in war of words. On the foreign scene, we informed you that Kenya authorities have launched an urgent investigation into the mysterious death of 15 elephants near the Amboseli National Park in south of the country. And sport, the grandson of the former Uganda military ruler Idi Amin is aiming to make history at the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow. And that was the IPA 102.7 FM Midday News, edited by Alaba Adeyemi. I am Florence E. Barama. Many thanks for listening. Good afternoon.
ẹ káàsán àsìkò iṣẹ́ látàárọ̀ ìròyìn ọjọ́ kan rí ló ń dé sí ti gbọ̀yìn láti ìkànnì hyper 102.7 FM èmùrèlé ọ̀wọ̀ olúwatóbi okùnọlá lóníròyìn yẹn ṣáájú ẹgbẹ́ àwọn òmùòyò tó lákàkì nínú ìròyìn náà. àwọn ará ìlú ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo ké gbàjarè lórí ẹ̀kún omi ṣe gba ojú pópónà pẹ̀lú ilé wọn. àwọn ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun bára wọn fa wàhálà. nínú ìròyìn ilẹ̀ òkèrè orílẹ̀-èdè Kenya bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìwádìí lórí ikú àwọn erin 15. nínú ìròyìn eré ìdárayá Eden Amin fẹ́ fi ìtàn balẹ̀ nínú ìdíje Commonwealth ẹ má yí kúrò ń bẹ̀ àwọn ìròyìn ọ̀hún láàmúwáṣẹ́tì gbọ̀yìn láìpẹ́. ìròyìn náà rèé lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo. gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo Lucky Ayédàtiwa ti buwọ́lu ìsan owó ìrànlọ́wọ́ pàtàkì tó tó bílíọ̀nù kan àti mílíọ̀nù 100 kan náírà fún àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ fásitì Adékúnlé Ajásin Àkùngbá Àkókó láti lè padà sí ẹnuṣẹ́ òòjọ́ wọn. ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo sọ wípé ìrànlọ́wọ́ náà jẹ́ láti lè yanjú àríyànjiyàn tó wà láàrin ìṣàkóso ilé ẹ̀kọ́ ọ̀hún àti àwọn òṣìṣẹ́. gómìnà sì pàṣẹ fún iléeṣẹ́ ètò ìṣúná ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo láti san owó ọ̀hún ní kíákíá. gómìnà Ayédàtiwa wá rọ àwọn olùkọ́ fásitì ọ̀hún wípé kí wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ iṣẹ́ padà láìpẹ́. ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ agbègbè káàkiri ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní kún fún ẹ̀kún omi tí àwọn ará ìlú wá ti rawọ́ ẹ̀bẹ̀ sí ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo. oníròyìn iléeṣẹ́ wa hyper 102.7 FM Àlàbá Adéyẹmí ti wà níkàlẹ̀ láti jábọ̀ ẹ̀kúnrẹ́rẹ́ ìròyìn náà.
láti ìlú Ondo ní ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ ìwọ̀ oòrùn Ondo títí tó fi dé ilẹ̀ Olújì níjọba ìbílẹ̀ ilẹ̀ Olújì Òkìtìpupa Ìgbọ́kọ̀dá àti ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn ìlú tí ń bẹ ní apá gúúsù ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo ní àwọn ará ìlú tí ń kérora tí wọ́n sì ń ké sí ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo láti gbà wọ́n là lọ́wọ́ omíyalé àgbàrá ya ṣọ́ọ̀bù tí ó ti gba gbogbo ojú títì kan tí ó sì ti rọ́wọ́ inú ilé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ tí ó sì ń ba dúkìá wọn jẹ́. ọ̀kan lára àwọn tí ó kọ́kọ́ ké gbàjarè sí ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo ní olóyè tí ó jẹ́ gbajúgbajà akọrin ìbílẹ̀ bírípo èyún olóyè ẹ̀màyé tí ó bẹ ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo láti ràn án lọ́wọ́ bí ó ṣe jẹ́ wípé gbogbo ohun tó ń fi àárọ̀ ọjọ́ kójọ ó ní omíyalé ti bàjẹ́ pátápátá.
àgbà mi o mo mọ owó òbí ṣeré yìí o òun ẹ̀bẹ̀ tójú mi bàjẹ́ yìí ni ìjọba gbà mí o àjọ òbò bẹ̀yìn o mọ̀mọ́ ń bomi bẹ́ẹ̀ bá yí o.
àwọn ará ìlú mìíràn jákèjádò agbègbè ọ̀hún náà ni wọ́n ń kérora tí wọ́n sì ń rawọ́ ẹ̀bẹ̀ sí ìjọba láti ran àwọn lọ́wọ́ níbi omíyalé àgbàrá ya ṣọ́ọ̀bù ti ba ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ dúkìá wọn jẹ́.
dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ wọn àwọn tó ṣe é ṣùgbọ́n síbẹ̀síbẹ̀ ó wá kù sí ọwọ́ àwọn ibì kan nípa àìlà gọ́tà nípa àìsí ọ̀nà yẹn délẹ̀ nípa ibi tí àwọn ọ̀nà ti wà tẹ́lẹ̀ ní ọmọ wa for example tó yẹ kí wọ́n ti ṣe gọ́tà ẹ̀kan lẹ̀ àbí ẹ̀kan ṣọ̀nà yẹn dáadáa nípa àìsí dáadáa tó wá darí gbogbo omi àdúgbò omi ògbéjé omi fáwà omi ọmọ wa àti gbogbo surroundings omi ẹ̀ gbogbo omi àdúgbò yẹn ọ̀dọ̀ wa báyìí ló ń dà sí tẹ́ bá wo nísìn ilé ibi tá a wà yìí wọ́n ti kúrò nílé wọn ò rí kankan mú obìnrin yẹn lánàá báyìí ẹja tó rà sílé ó tó 200,000 báyìí gbogbo ẹja yẹn ààrí gbogbo ẹrù òṣèlú jáde nílé ilé kejì ilé tèmi gan-an oníyẹn ń bẹ̀ yẹn gbogbo ẹ̀ lómi gbà ibi tá a wà yìí omi gbà gbogbo ẹ̀.
pé láti ìgbà tá a ti wá sínú ilé yìí irú ẹ̀ ò ṣẹlẹ̀ rí rárá ṣùgbọ́n nígbà tí ní láti yàtọ̀ sọ pé wọ́n kọ́ ibi omi tá a máa kọ́kọ́ kàkà tó dé ọ̀wẹ̀ yẹn ibi tó kó dé yẹn ni omi yẹn ti ń gba ti bí lọ ibẹ̀ ló kọ̀ sí wàhálà yìí ojú ọ̀wẹ̀ gan pápá dẹ̀ ti dí ó ti dí kọjọ kó gbà wá o tinúlé báyìí àti jáde síta ẹ wo gbogbo inú ilé gbogbo ẹ̀ kò máa àmàrí fi sùn
ẹ wo ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ ilẹ̀ olújí òkègbó ẹ wo àárín omi ni àwọn ilé yẹn wà báyìí wọ́n ẹjọ́ gbogbo ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ ilẹ̀ olújí òkègbó.
ní ìlú Ondo gangan àwọn àdúgbò bíi ìta ńlá lípàkálà àti gáràjì ọkọ̀ akóyọyọ àti àwọn àdúgbò mìíràn ó ní omíyalé ti lé àwọn ènìyàn kúrò ládùúgbò ní èyí tí ó jẹ́ àtúnwáyé irú ètò ṣẹlẹ̀ ní ọdún mẹ́ta sẹ́yìn. ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ omíyalé yìí kì í ṣe èyí tó ṣẹlẹ̀ lójijì rárá níbi àjọ tó ń rí sí bí ojú ọjọ́ ṣe rí jákèjádò orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà NIMET ti ṣe kìlọ̀ fún àwọn ìpínlẹ̀ mọ́kàndínlógún jákèjádò orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà níbi ẹ̀ẹ̀mẹ́ta láàrin ọdún yìí ṣáájú àkókò yìí. ní oṣù kínní àti oṣù kejì nínú ọdún yìí ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo tẹ́wọ́ gba owó tí ó tó 3,305 àti ẹ̀sùn 9 mílíọ̀nù owó ilẹ̀ wa gẹ́gẹ́ bí owó fún dídènà àwọn ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ pàjáwìrì láti ọwọ́ ìjọba àpapọ̀ ṣùgbọ́n tí ó jẹ́ wípé ìgbésẹ̀ tí ò nítumọ̀ òun ni ìjọba gbé. ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo nínú àbá ètò ìṣúná rẹ̀ nínú ọdún tá a wà yìí ó ní ó ní àfojúsùn láti gbà àti láti lo owó tí ó tó 600 mílíọ̀nù ó lé 45 àti ẹ̀sùn 9 owó ilẹ̀ wa. ẹ̀wẹ̀ ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo ti wá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní wó àwọn ilé àti ṣọ́ọ̀bù tí àwọn ènìyàn kọ́ sí ojú àgbàrá jákèjádò ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo nínú èròǹgbà rẹ̀ láti wójútùú sí ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ omíyalé àti àgbàrá yọ ṣọ́ọ̀bù ṣùgbọ́n tí àwọn ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn ọmọ ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo sọ wípé ṣé ìgbà yìí wá làárọ̀ nígbà tí wọ́n ń sọ̀rọ̀ olùbádámọ̀ràn fún gómìnà lórí ọ̀rọ̀ iṣẹ́ òde àti omíyalé pẹ̀lú akọ̀wé iléeṣẹ́ ìjọba tó ń rí sí iṣẹ́ òde ni wọ́n sọ ìgbésẹ̀ tí ìjọba ń gbé láti rí wípé ọ̀rọ̀ omíyalé àti àgbàrá ya ṣọ́ọ̀bù di ohun ìgbàgbé ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo.
Happening in Ondo State several years. Immediately I get appointed with Mr. Governor on erosion control in Ondo State, and I do my land map to see where we are going to address in Ondo State. And this is Oyemekun Road, and we need to address this place properly. And I promise the good people of Ondo State that we are going to put concrete channelization, which we call embankments. We are going to dig this place 4 meter and 1 meter depth. By the special grace of God, we are going to do it to Danjuma, and all the structure on our waterway, we are going to demolish for 1 week and 3 days. And we are going to address Ondo Road too. And after Ondo Road, we are going to Ondo Town. Present now, I have traveled to Ondo Town this morning concerning flooding. And earlier this year, I addressed Ondo Town. And the people of Ondo Town came outside that we should stop the assignments concerning the structure on the waterway. And with this team now, on bad development, we are good to go in Ondo State. And we want to give Ondo State indigenous the best. And we want to say no to flood in our state.
We are doing a normal job. We are looking at cultures that are encroached on stream and river sector. And we are removing them. Yes, particularly on this side, it's illegal construction, actually blocking the street flow of this river, particularly, and it's causing a lot of flooding. And in the last 2-3 weeks, it's not been a very difficult for road users. And you can see, particularly in this area, people have deliberately encroached on the sector, they've built on them, and it's giving us a lot of money. But then, we're up to it, we are removing them, and in the next 2 or 3 days, there will be enough stock.
Alaba Adéyẹmí ló ń jábọ̀ ìròyìn fún iléeṣẹ́ rédíò iPower.